Hey everyone, Josh here with Fresh Start Customs, and today we're going to be taking a look at a white tile and we're going to be engraving it so it looks something like this in the lighting here. So you can see the design as I pass through the lighting, and then we're going to be adding Sharpie to this to get an end result picture like this here. The frame is just something I did that's completely optional. I do have files down in the links below that you can get for frames for two different sizes here, but this is just to show you one that I've done in the past and what we're going to be doing today in today's video. And in today's video, I'm also going to try and add a pop of color here by adding in green as well as the black here. So it may get kind of messy here and it may not look the greatest, but just note if you want it to look like this, just use straight up black. In this case, I'm going to be using black and green. So what you're going to also need is some rubbing alcohol like this. The 70% works pretty good. So with that said, what we're going to do is pop your tile in your CO2 laser. I did my Glowforge. It works best with a CO2 laser. You may get some kind of results to work on a diode laser, but it tends to absorb or bounce off with like the blue light here with just a plain white tile. You may have to do other steps such as coating it and that kind of thing if you have a diode laser. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about CO2 lasers, and it's going to engrave just like this here. I'll show you a quick couple seconds of it engraving. And I think you get the point. It's just going to look like a white engraving on that video clip. So we're not going to see that, and we're going to skip right to this here. So with that said, let's get these out of the way. And then we're going to jump right into this here. And what we're going to do is we're going to color in our green area first this time instead of just doing it all black. But if you want that result like this one right here, just color your entire tile black with Sharpie to start. But I'm going to kind of fill in some of the green zone. This should probably be like yellow down below for the wheat, but we're going to just use green and see what it looks like here. And we'll go from there. So I'll kind of do like a hyper time lapse here and speed this up. And then I'm going to do the green, and then we're going to switch to black here in just a moment. And we're going to see how this turns out here. All right, you guys, so as you can see, I got all the green areas that I want to just highlight done. And like I said, this is going to probably bleed into the black areas too, but I'm hoping the black areas will kind of cover up some of that. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the black, and I'll show you that too. All right, guys, so now that we have all of the coloring filled in, you can see that design better when I go across the lighting here. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. Like I said, this is my first try. But like I said, if you want it to look like that other one, just go with all black. Then you want to get yourself a rag that you don't care about anymore, just like a dirty one from the past here. Don't use your typical kitchen rag, but it's just something that you don't care about. And then we're going to put some of this rubbing alcohol on there. And we're going to wipe this off very gently here. So you're just going to dab some rubbing alcohol on this. And then you're going to kind of just go back and forth and try and fill in these areas to get that top coating off. And like I said, this is going to mix together, so I have no idea how this is going to look in the end result. But I'm hoping they all stay in place. And it looks like they are staying in place for the most part here. So I could have used different colors, so I could have used brown for the deer, but I just decided to do two colors for this. And I think it's actually turning out really well. So I'm going to just keep wiping this down. And then you can keep filling this in and then wiping it off as you need to, so to get more coloring here. So overall, this is looking really good, actually. There we go. And then if it's not dark enough, you can keep going over this, but this is going to be a lighter effect because you're just putting like the alcohol on it, which is pulling it off of there. But overall, this looks great, actually. This looks really cool. I'm going to go over it one more time just to see what it does. And then we'll do a dry run just to see if that does anything different here. So we're going to just go over some of these areas in green very lightly like this. All right, then this time I'm gonna just kind of go over in a dry area just to see what it does if we wipe it off dry. So yeah, as you can see, it's not really looking that great if we do dry. So I'm gonna go back to this like still damp area and kind of wipe that down a little bit. And we'll just kind of fade it in there like we did before. Alright you guys, so as you can see, that ended up making the color a little bit brighter for the green, and then I can go back with the black area, but every time you kind of merge the two colors together, they do kind of cross-contaminate each other, so just keep that in mind. I think I liked it better the first swipe when they were both in their own layers. It looked really good. This still looks cool with like the green mixed in because it kind of looks like moss growing on the trees, but you can continue to wipe that down to kind of get a better result on how you want it, and then you can always add black to it. See, like I can get rid of some of that green if I focus on that area of that top coating here. And you just gotta kind of work yourself back and forth and clean up any areas that you don't like or you're not happy with, and you can get better results. So this is actually looking really cool with this two-tone effect here. So if you guys are interested in this, check it out. It's just a Sharpie and some rubbing alcohol. And then if you wanna add like a border like this, you can add your own custom border, or you can just use one that I pre-made for like 4-inch or 6-inch tiles like this one here. But other than that, super cool little tip that you can do in order to color your tiles here. Other than that, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below, and I hope you guys enjoy this style content.